She had no ID, no diaper bag, no explanation, just a baby, and a single sentence: this child was never meant to be born. Welcome to the Frenzy Tribe, where betrayal isn't fiction. It's just the next story waiting to be told. It was a quiet Sunday morning in Richmond County when the woman appeared. She didn't rush. She didn't panic. She walked. Rain had started to fall. Not a storm. Just the kind of drizzle that slicks the streets and silences a city. She had no umbrella. Just a baby in her arms. The front doors of the precinct slid open at 8:07 a.m. No one looked up. Not yet. A rookie officer behind the front desk was eating a powdered donut, sugar on his lapel, scrolling his phone. Then she spoke. This child was never meant to be born. He looked up, blinked, stood. She wore a faded green hoodie, damp with rain, sleeves too long. Her hair was unkempt, eyes bloodshot but dry. In her left hand, she clutched a birth announcement, the kind you'd see hanging on a hospital wall, but it was blank. No name, just a footprint. They asked her name. She gave them one: Delaney Cross. The officer typed it in and stopped typing. Delaney Cross had died 5 years ago. Car crash, Highway 19. Unidentified body, presumed dead after dental records matched a relative. Closed case. Buried. Done. But now, here she was, holding a baby, wrapped in a towel that still smelled like bleach. The child was silent, not asleep, alert, watching everything. The sergeant came out from the back, clipboard in hand, unbothered until he saw the woman's shoes, red Converse, caked in dried blood. Ma'am, where did you get that child? Delaney didn't flinch. She stepped forward, set the baby down on the front counter, and whispered, I'm not the mother, but someone needs to find her before they do. It wasn't hers, the card, the baby, the truth. But it was enough to make the police care, and that's all she needed. The baby was taken to medical for a wellness check. Delaney was led to interview room B. It was small. No windows, just a table, 2 chairs, and a blinking camera in the corner. The rookie officer was told to sit out. This wasn't rookie work. This was something else. Across from her, Sergeant Vaughn opened a manila folder. No introduction. Just the question, where's the child's mother? Delaney didn't blink, didn't look away. She stared straight ahead, then tilted her head, like she'd been waiting for someone to ask that. They buried her before she ever got to hold her own baby. The sergeant leaned forward. Buried who? Her name was Claire, but they called her something else in the paperwork. Subject 07F. The folder slipped slightly from Vaughn's hand. He had seen that designation before. 07F. From a black file buried under political immunity, redacted case logs, and the missing daughter of Senator Louise Hartford. Claire Hartford died in a car crash, Vaughn said. Delaney's eyes finally moved. That's what they wanted on the record. She reached into her hoodie pocket and slid something across the table. A photo. It wasn't Claire. Not exactly. It was Delaney. Her face, but younger. Lying beside Claire in a hospital room. Both newborns. I'm the one they thought wouldn't survive. The twin they didn't claim. The one they lost. On purpose. Vaughn closed the file. Not because he was finished, but because he was just getting started. The photo lay between them, two newborns, swaddled side by side in a hospital crib. It wasn't the baby she wanted him to recognize. It was the face next to Claire in that picture. Her own. Delaney Cross, the name that didn't exist. Not in any school record, not in any census, not even in the senator's family tree. She wasn't adopted. She wasn't missing. She was erased before the ink on her birth band ever dried. "We were born minutes apart," she said. "But she got a name, I got a number." Vaughn looked closer. The photo wasn't doctored. The dates matched. Claire Hartford had a twin, and now the twin was in his interrogation room, holding a baby Claire never got to hold. He asked it gently, not as a cop, but as someone starting to feel the ground shift beneath him. "Who is the baby?" Delaney didn't answer at first. She just ran her thumb along the edge of the photo, like it cut her every time she touched it. They took pieces of her before the crash, before the headlines, before the funeral. Her DNA, her cells, her blood. This baby wasn't born the night Claire died. She was born from what they couldn't kill. Vaughn's eyes dropped briefly to the blood drying on her red Converse. "The blood's not mine," she said. "It belonged to the woman who carried the child, the one who didn't make it out." She looked back up, steady. This child isn't the secret. She's the evidence. And now that evidence was in the building, breathing, crying, and one signature away from disappearing again. The room was quiet. Too quiet for a place full of names. Delaney stood motionless near the door. Vaughn hovered over the computer screen, the glow of the monitor highlighting a look of disbelief. They hadn't just lost records, they'd buried them. He typed again. "Delaney Cross." No match. Then he searched Claire Hartford. 2 entries, same date, same time, same hospital. Only one had a full name. The second? Just a barcode. And one line, handwritten in fading red ink. "Unviable twin. Dispose." He blinked. They didn't lose Delaney in the crash. They threw her away before her life even started. Vaughn turned slowly toward her. She didn't break eye contact. What did they do to Claire before she died? Her response was barely a whisper. They took pieces of her. DNA, cells, blood, until there was nothing left to give. He swallowed hard. His voice dropped lower. This wasn't a tragedy. This was extraction. Sometimes the ones we discard are the ones who carry the proof. They tried to erase a life, but what they created was a witness. The door creaked open behind them. The rookie stepped in, a sealed white envelope in his hand. No words, just the envelope. Vaughn opened it, and there she was. Inside the folder wasn't a file. It was a photograph. Claire, alive, but not free. Tubes in her arms. Sterile light above her. Timestamp. 2 days after she was reported dead. Delaney didn't flinch. "You're not just hiding a baby," Vaughn said. "You're hiding what they made her from." He stared at the woman in front of him, the twin who wasn't supposed to survive, and they'll kill to make sure it doesn't happen again. The silence between them wasn't empty. It was loaded. Delaney reached into her bag, slower this time, and slid a thick envelope across the table. Not manila, not government-issued, burnt edges, no markings, just heat, history, and hell. Vaughn picked it up. Didn't open it right away. Some folders don't need to be opened to burn you. When he finally did, his breath stalled halfway through the first page. Not photos, files, classified medical logs, experimental treatment trials. billing records from a private lab with no physical address. At the center of every report, one donor ID, Claire Hartford, and beneath that, another name added later, in different ink, Delaney Cross. Vaughn flipped to the last document, a signed memo, flagged for destruction. Top corner, Senator Hartford's office, mid-page. The surviving specimen poses unpredictable risk. Bottom corner, erase, stamped in red. Vaughn looked up. Delaney stared back. Not scared, not shaking, just awake and wide-eyed. Vaughn realized they weren't trying to kill a threat. They were trying to unwrite a mistake. The folder was still open, but Vaughn wasn't reading it anymore. He was staring at her. Delaney, her hands flat on the table, her voice quieter than before. "There's more," she said, "but it's not in that file." She reached into her coat pocket, not fast, not threatening, and slid two things across the table. A key card, black, no markings, chipped on the edge, and a torn receipt with an address scribbled on the back. Off-grid facility, 15 miles outside the city. It used to be theirs until they shut it down, or said they did. Vaughn didn't touch the items, not yet, because the name stamped on that receipt, faint but unmistakable, was Hartford Biosolutions. "You're telling me there's a facility still running? Using her DNA?" Delaney nodded once, deliberate, cold. What they buried didn't stay buried. Not all of it. He finally leaned forward, pulled a secure evidence pouch from his jacket, slipped the key card and receipt inside, sealed it, and placed it beside the burn folder. His eyes never left hers. "What am I walking into?" Delaney looked at him, not with fear, but with finality. "Not a lab," she said. "Not anymore." "It's a vault, and inside is what they couldn't erase." The door groaned as Vaughn pushed it open. Rust flaked at the hinges. A metallic scent hit first. Not blood, not bleach. Something colder. They stepped in. Not a lab. Not anymore. The tiles were cracked. Equipment covered with sheets. Everything looked abandoned until Delaney pointed. A cot. Sterile. Empty. Beside it, restraints. Medical charts clipped to the wall. Photos paper-clipped to the top. Vaughn approached slowly. Claire's face stared back at him. Gaunt. Unblinking. One photo showed her pregnant. Another, sedated. A third was time-stamped after her official death. Delaney's voice was barely audible. She wasn't the first. They were trying to replicate her, not save her. Vaughn's hand gripped the chart, and then he saw them. The bloody shoes. Same pair Delaney wore during the interrogation. He turned. She didn't flinch. "You knew this was here." Delaney exhaled. "I never left." "But you never asked why they made me take her place." Vaughn froze. His eyes shifted from the cot to the mirror on the far wall. A faint silhouette stared back. Two women, same eyes, one file folder. Claire, and someone who should have died with her. Delaney stepped closer. What they buried wasn't just her. It was me. Some truths don't get solved. They get sealed, and some girls never go missing because they were never meant to be found. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more cinematic mysteries. If you're seeing this in a remix, watch more stories on our official channel, frenzeme.us.